Hello fellow data friends. I let the game run for about 500 years and tracked the population by culture. 1 minute of the video corresponds to 100 years in game. Since the game is only designed to last 100 years, we get some peak border gore. After the time lapse, we will look a bit on charts about global GDP and global population, then we take a look around the world in 2378. I see you after the time lapse. Use the timestamps for your convenience. And the Russians win. The French secured the second place in the last seconds and banished the Han to the third place. I didn't expect the Mexican to take the fourth place as well. Before we dive deeper into the world of 2378, let's look at some more graphs regarding the whole time span. Global GDP first. These two massive spikes are due to game crashes where I had to patch stuff together, so please ignore them. Global GDP rises strongly until about 2020, then it slows down and peaks in 2177 at 19 billion and 281 million pounds GDP. Afterwards, it's decreasing slowly. We get a similar pattern when we look at the global population. We had a maximum global population of 4.2 billion people. The population rises slower than the GDP, but after 2100 it moves pretty much in sync. That's why I also calculated the GDP per capita. The AI manages about 4.5 pounds per capita. In 1940, the global GDP per capita is about 3 pounds. It still rises strongly until 1970 and then becomes slower. I guess all nations have all technologies unlocked somewhere around 2020, so there isn't much room for improvement. And you want some potentially big tech inequalities at the end of the game. If every backwater nation has all techs unlocked, that would be bad as well. But a lot of economic growth is still happening between 1940 and 1970. And this green line is the GDP per capita only for great powers. They grow strongly until 1950 and then get slowed down a lot. Ideally, I think that this point of great powers can't economically grow fast anymore would still happen in the normal time frame, say 1920. Then AI countries need war to grow more powerful, which leads to the era of great wars like in the normal history. Could be interesting. But now let's have a closer look at the world in 2378, the leaderboard first. The Russian Republic is ranked first, no surprise given the global Russian population in the timelapse. We have several revolts in the top ranks, like the Canadian Fascist Revolt, the American Peasant Revolt, and the New African Fascist Revolt. We also have a lot of great powers. 27 in fact. How many countries do we have? About 400. And you know you're screwed up when several countries without any population have more prestige than you do. Let's quickly sort by population, but start at the bottom. There are a lot of countries without any population. Though just having one guy in the whole of Punjab is even funnier. And it's an unemployed laborer. He could pose as prime minister because who could stop him? But that's just this Punjab. The other Punjab still have some population and is ruled by the rural folk with 0% support. But let's start in Europe. It's a glorious mess. Most of Spain is ruled by single state countries, except for central Spain, which belongs to Japan, the obvious nation to own it. We have two Spains, as well as two Bohemias, two Romanias, and a Romanian feminist revolt. The Hungarian feminists are also independent. And two Bulgarias, where one Bulgaria with 248 people fights a fascist revolt of 23 people. Just lovely balkanization almost everywhere. Let's change to culture map mode, because when there is no one living in the state, then there is no culture. Okay, most of the Spanish provinces and the Netherlands are just empty wastelands. Same as Wallachia and most of Romania. But there's so much more fun to find. Most of Britain is actually North German, and the Highlands is inhabited by Punjabis. Switzerland only has Icelandic people and some Norwegians. And some Han Chinese in Eastern Prussia. Normal stuff. But Switzerland is actually quite impressive. They have been starving for 375 years and there are still people alive. That's not bad. Africa looks like a patchwork rug. There's still some isolated British Republic, but apart from that, not much European power still present. Africa also has some dead wastelands, especially Ethiopia looks bad. We also have some Dixies and some South Italians. Oh, and a Scottish colony. This small country here, the New African Fascist Revolt, is actually the 6th great power. They have 74 million people, but only 18 million here? And zero market access? Oh, that's just a colony. And they are in starvation, but only for 8 months. I guess they are somewhat self-sufficient. Check the list of great powers, and Africa has no native great power, only some foreign ones. Asia is colorful. Basically everyone exploded into mostly tiny pieces. The strongest nation native to Asia is Hunan, which is basically the biggest piece of China. It's a fascist state and the leader of a military treaty power bloc, with just one member. Seems to be a somewhat new power bloc. Bengal is the next strongest nation in Asia, and they are atheists. Let's check who else is. Oh, almost everyone is. There are still some defender of the faith, but mostly the gods left this place. Let's check the culture screen. We have some wastelands, and especially modern day Pakistan was hit hard. But China is looking better than the situation really is. 212 people in Alxa, less than 4,000 people in Ningxia, 31 in Chongqing, 64 in Henan, and less than 2,000 in Shaanxi. You can see that several Chinese states have strong famines. And northern Baluchistan is starving for almost 400 years. They barely made it 50 years after the official end date. And now hide your children, because we are going to look at Northern America. Okay, we have the United States of America, the Free States of America, the Free American Reaction Revolt, the Communist States of America, and there's an ongoing war against the American Peasant Revolt. And of course, we have several independent states. The Council of Three Fires, cool name. And only South Carolina is empty, the rest is still inhabited. Okay, but there's some starvation going on. Wyoming has 31 people. Okay, several states are near annihilation. The Communist States of America are the strongest nation here. A consular republic with rather strong trade unions. Everyone else is just marginalized. Oh, and they have multiculturalism. Not bad. South America still has two Brazils actually. One is completely dead, and the other one seems to do fine for its people. Middle strata with 46 standard of living. I'm not sure if that's just the upper strata in disguise. Most places are still inhabited. And Chile is actually Mexican. But look at this difference in political power. Seems like Mexicans are not that welcome in Chile in terms of representation. Venezuela, another consular republic, is the strongest South American state. Armies in this timeline don't seem to be this big. Well, except Russia apparently. Sounds normal. But what is the state with the highest population? Ontario is looking good with 42 million people. French Low Countries has 44 million. Given the size, that is way more impressive. The states in Bengal are big, but not bigger than the French Low Countries. But South Sumatra seems to be the winner. 56 million people with quite a lot of cultures present. But it's losing 900,000 people per year? Boy, that's harsh. But still has 3 million unemployed. I guess they are fine. Well, and that's it for today. Thanks a lot to Solfi for supporting my channel as data capitalist. That is very much appreciated. Thanks a lot for watching, and I see you on the next one.